Hello everyone, welcome to MANIC Monday Racing, strength of field racing on the Supercars at Suzuka. This is the main race on the Australian server for the week, and we see Wayne Walker's taken pole position from Ross Rizzo. The championship leader is Steve Jansen. He's starting a little bit further back on the third row, and Chastity's chasing 8 wins in a row on the Gen 3 car, and he's starting off the third row. But Wayne Walker's off to a great start. He's got a huge margin on the field here. You see Chastity's got pushed very wide here on the first corner. That's not a great start for Chastity. I think he got involved with Farrell there, but he's actually recovered that very nicely, and it's right next to his Steve Jansen. That's the matchup I've been really looking forward to tonight. Jansen and Chastity, the two informed drivers in the Gen 3 supercar, winning heaps of races. Like Jansen's going with 3 in a row and Chastity 8 in a row. So they haven't matched up a little bit lately. This is the first time they've raced each other for a while. So it'll be really interesting. But they're a little bit back in the field at the moment. You see Corey Preston's been pushed out wide, and he's going to take a little bit of while to recover from that. That just looked like a bit of a wobble from Farrell, but it sent Preston off the track. Well, let's see what's happened at the front of the field. Wayne Walker seems to have got off to a great start. Wayne's come into this race ranked car number 10, but I think his form is better than that. This is a man whose iRating is on the up and up when he competes in these strength of field races. He seems to compete in leagues a lot, but we love it when they come out and play in the real races, the strength of field official races, where we get drivers from all over. We've even got a driver from Estonia in this race, which we'll talk about soon. But Wayne's off to a fantastic start, keeping it very smooth. We see Ross Rizzo off to a good start as well. Ross raced on the Furious Friday race, which was Saturday afternoon Australian time, and he got a good result in fourth, but he finished well behind Chastity in that race. So this is a good improvement from him to have this good position early on. Maybe he's done some extra work or found a new setup, but it certainly looks as though he's found some extra pace at the start of this race anyway. So Jared Farrell, that's not a name I know, but obviously he races well. I haven't not seen him in these strength of field races in the supercars. He's off to a good start. He's got Chastity right in his tail though. A bit of defending from Farrell there, but Chastity, he really looks to have a good run down there into turn 1, and there's no problem there. Now Jansen will need to do the same quickly. He won't want Chastity getting away while he's stuck in behind Farrell. Looks like Tyler Jowett's right there with him, as is Matt Morris. Also, both of those off to good starts. You see Chastity's already opening up a little bit of a gap from Jansen here. Jansen won't be enjoying that. I think Jansen will need to get past Farrell quite quickly here. Maybe an opportunity into the hairpin. Looks as though he's lining up to do that. I don't know anything about Farrell. He might be a good driver. He's had a look. No, he's thought better of that. He really wanted to get by, but didn't want to take the risk at that point. It's a bit of traffic jam building up behind them. Roy Clark's keeping up with this pack with Jay Brazier just in behind him, with Corey Preston trying to recover from that early off where he got pushed wide. Jamie Machado, good to see him. Haven't seen him race in these strength of field races for a while. He used to be a regular, obviously resuming from a spell here. I'd imagine he'll work his way into the race quite nicely as it goes on. There's Simon Haynes and teammate Chris Blanchard. Shane Randell. This looks like some of the older members of the race today. Stephen Kokoschki. A little bit of a battle here between Sim Lug. This is our Estonian friend taking on Matthew Brunt. Now it looks like Sim says from Estonia. I looked him up before the start of the race. He's only ever raced once previously in the supercars, and that was at when they first come on at the start of last year way back at Watkins Glen Classic Boot. So he's only ever done one race. He's got an I rating of 5,000. He normally races in the sports cars in the LMP Ligier JS P320. I'd imagine this is quite a different beast to handle, so he'll have some fun out there tonight getting a handle on it and working out how to go. But he seems to be going quite okay at this early stages. We see David Baxter and Brett Horsell and John Gallen all making up the rest of the field through Andrew Birchall's. A few of the guys dropping back here. Andrew Ritchie's a long way back. He's obviously had some trouble early on. And maybe Cameron Garati's had some troubles too. Daryl Callahan, I imagine that might have been a mix-up early on between those guys, which I didn't catch. We see Wayne Walker's not bolting away from the field as I might have thought he would have, as Ross Rizzo looks to be in very good form. He's looming up behind Wayne quite neatly here. And Chastity is making ground on them now that he's cleared Farewell. But Jansen's still in behind Farewell. And Jowett's flashing the lights, held up, feeling a little bit held up. Certainly not Jansen holding him up, wouldn't think, as it's one of the form drivers of the series. But Farewell obviously has got a good handle on this car and it's keeping these very good drivers at bay. So it's quite exciting racing. Well done, Jared Farewell. But Jansen really needs to get by. Chastity's disappearing into the distance. And I thought they'd be neck and neck the whole race, but with this driver in between, that's going to make that a little bit trickier for Steve Jansen. Matt Morris maybe just losing a little bit of ground to these guys. Roy Clark is sticking with him. Corey Preston probably have a go at Roy Clark shortly, I'd imagine, after getting past Brazier. And Machado is moving through well. He's got a nice little pack developing here. But let's go to the front of the pack. I get the feeling Rizzo is making ground on Walker, and there you go. That's getting closer and closer as they get onto the home straight. Okay, entering lap 4 of this 19-lap race. Well, these are good drivers. I've seen Walker's obviously very quick. He races a lot in leagues but wins a lot of races. It seems to be a very quick driver, continually improving. I think he works very hard at it. And you can see the results. Rizzo, massive improvement from just a few days ago. Although Chastity is making ground on him. We can just see Chastity in the background there. Chasing a lot of space to work with. You see Jansen still in behind Farewell. Maybe he's resigned himself to it. No, Morris is hanging on behind. A fair bit of action here with Clark, Jowett, Preston, Brazier and Machado. Let's see if Roy can hold them off into the hairpin. Hey, Preston just thrown it in there. Well, he's done well. That was some good late braking, but it's left him a little bit awkward. Jowett saw that well. He saw that coming, left enough room, and got the power to the ground to hold Corey off. Nice racing, that. I like it. All right. Ross, Rizzo coming down the straight. They're approaching 130R. Having a look at Walker, I think he's making ground at the rapid rate. He's obviously looking a bit racy. He's putting the pressure right on Walker here. He's getting right in his rear vision. So I'm here. I'm on action. He's into the hairpin. Oh, Walker's gone wide. It's opened up the door for Rizzo, and Rizzo's taken that. Thank you very much. Rizzo takes the lead. Walker drops back, and Chastity is made ground on them through that little stoush. Yes, Walker maybe did feel the pressure there. He saw Rizzo coming at him very rapidly. Went very wide, awkwardly into that final chicane, and Rizzo's taking off. But Chastity, as we'd expect, chasing 8 wins in a row, right back in this race, and he'll be eyeing off that 8th win in a row. I looked up the stats for Chastity earlier today. He's had 58 wins in the Gen 3 car. Keep going on. He's got the most wins in the Gen 3 cars by a country mile. It's probably Daylight second. I looked up, probably second place might be 16 wins. So 58 wins for Chastity in second place, which may be Ryan O'Sullivan. There may be others, but yes, I've got clocked Ryan at about 16 wins, and that might be the second best. So Chastity has got a huge Daylight. Even Jansen, who's such a consistent performer, has only really won 6 races in the Gen 3 car. Chase, obviously his last 2, he's improving all the time. But yes, he's a man on a mission. Ross Rizzo is certainly showing something here. And now Chastity's going to look for a way past Walker. How's Jansen going? He's getting a good view of this Mustang. This Mustang is looking very wide. There's just no way by. And Morris is just doing the holding. He's on the watch, waiting for an opportunity for these two. But it looks like Jansen's not prepared to make any aggressive moves on Farewell. So that's going to leave him a long way behind Chastity. And we see Jowett moving in there, and they've got Jowett and Preston have got past Clark, and Machado now looking to do the same. Chris Blanchard's been a consistent performer in the Manic Monday races this season. He's had some very nice results. Simon Haynes, I haven't seen him this season in the Manic Mondays. He may have done a race or two. He's going on very neatly. There's Stephen Kokoschke going to make life interesting for him. Shane Randell, I do see here occasionally. Very good in that Blackheart Designs vehicle. Go Max Wolf. Always likes a bit of action in these races. It looks to be going quite well. He's got a bit of company with Matthew Brunt, and here comes the Estonian, Siim Lug. Maybe getting a better feel of the car now. He's certainly happy to mix it up with these more experienced drivers, but he's obviously iRating's a fair bit higher. Not so much higher than Matthew Brunt, it seems. I missed David Baxter there. David just waiting for a way through this group of cars. John Gallen a bit further back than I expected. Maybe hasn't done much practice at the track at Suzuka. This is a man that actually races a lot higher than his iRating of 2,500 on occasion. But probably racing to that level tonight, as it's probably just warming up for races later in the week at Suzuka. Can't beat that classic livery. It's a great livery by Brett Horsell. Andrew Ritchie working his way back into it after some early troubles. He's getting closer to the back of those cars. With Andrew Birchall, Cameron Garati, and Darryl Callahan bringing up the rear of the field just to in these early stages at the 1/3 mark of the race. But let's go check in what's happening at the front. And we can see Ross Rizzo is opening up his gap on Wayne Walker. So Ross driving very, very fast. So Wayne took pole, but Ross is actually showing more pace. And I think Chastity is probably showing more pace than Walker at the moment, and we'll have to look for a way through very shortly. Now we're approaching the pit window. This is a 19-lap rate. The pit window probably opens up around this time. It'll see them home. Chastity might look for an early stop, maybe not, just to jump him in the pits. Maybe it's advisable for Jansen. He seems very stuck. Should he head into the pits early to maybe do the undercut on Farewell? Because he does really seem to be being held up here. Because he really is Chastity's pace, I would have thought, in this race, and Chastity's got right down the track. I watched Chastity's brake on there, nearly come up to 4 seconds. It's going to be hard to make back later in the race, given they're so evenly matched. Looks like Jowett and Preston might have some fun. Well, Preston, that is fantastic late braking, just a little bit wide, but actually very impressive. He really hit those anchors late, but managed to pull it up in time. But again, Jowett, that's the second time we've seen that in this race, has managed to get the acceleration from the outside, whereas Corey had that tighter line and couldn't quite get that acceleration. These two having some quite battle, and Corey Preston's getting some good practice at his late braking into the hairpin, which he seems very good at, but it doesn't seem to quite work. We'll have to wait for the hairpin to see what happens next time. So let's check in a few others before we get to that hairpin. See, Machado's got past Clark, and now Brazier's going to have a look at Clark. I think Clark's got my favourite livery. To me, that's just a very good looking car, being a Swans fan and all. And I see it quite often. Roy's in all these races, and always racing well. Alright, we better see what Corey's up to into the hairpin. Yes, he's getting very close to Tyler Jowett here. It might be on. Very aggressive interdigna curve there. He's taking a tight line, so he might not have the momentum here, but we know he'll brake late and charge at him into the hairpin. He was a bit too far back that time, thought better of it. But Jowett's left him the room, so Jowett seems to get good traction out wide on the track there. Sort of accelerates up that little bank that's at the other side of that hairpin and really gets some go on. Right, how's Chastity going with Walker? Still in behind, so being lap 8. I wonder if Chastity will come in this lap to do an undercut. We'll wait to the next one. Right, he's not going to come in yet. He's biding his time, but he is losing a lot of ground on Rizzo here. Rizzo's 2 seconds up the track now. Chastity is being patient here. He's having a look. Right. Walker's obviously got enough pace and come out of that chicane well enough to hold Chastity off easily into turn 1. Really holding a nice line through there. Obviously, you don't see these guys miss their lines too much. I did see Chastity make a mistake on the Saturday race. It was rare to see. Didn't cost him anything at the end of the day. Oh, Chance is still behind. It's like Matt Morris has disappeared. Must have been to the pits early. Jowett and Preston still at it. Going hard. They're probably having a great time. Jowett doing very well to hold off Preston here. But can he do it into this hairpin? Like, Corey's just got to get a good run out of this turn, so he's right there. Yep, he's right there this time. I would lay money that Preston will jam it up the inside of the hairpin, and I've lost my money. That's the normal case, would I bet? Oh, he's tried the different line, but no, it didn't quite get the power down. Just spun the wheels out of there, and Jowett's off. That's a good little battle. But it's keeping Clark in it. With Brazier, they're actually showing quite good pace, as is Blanchard and Randell. Yeah, and Haynes. All the old guys are racing well. Here's the Estonian. Hopefully he's having fun in this car. It's great to see. We have lots of guys racing in Europe in the Supercars. Like the race on Thursday night, European time, is very popular, and a lot of few Australian early risers join in. That's Friday morning, 6:15 Sydney time, Friday mornings. But Thursday evening in Europe, it's a fantastic race where you have the Europeans from like 10, 12, 14 different countries. It's a very exciting race, and I'll do some coverage of that later this week when we hit Miami. So Chastity has jumped into the pits and Walker has not. So this is Chastity's chance to jump him. Probably Walker might have missed a trick there by staying out, because there's probably no doubt with the undercut that Chastity will jump him. But everyone making their pits at the end of that. This is the halfway mark of the race. So not very creative, these pit stops, but effective. Quite often we just see that the halfway mark's the time to do it. So that's a good. Lots of action in the pits there. And here we come, Machado. Where does he fit in? He's already done his pit stop, and he's come out. just behind Farewell. So he is making very good ground. So Preston has stayed out. Jowett's come in, so will Preston get the undercut done as well? Graziera's got past Clark. And Haynes has got past Blanchard during those pit stops. What's happening at the front of the race? Ross Rizzo has stayed out, but he can afford a bit of luxury. He's not going to get undercut with the lead that he has of 3 seconds over Walker. And Jansen's stayed out also. So Jansen didn't go for the undercut on Farewell. He's stayed out. Hopefully to make some ground while he's got some free air. He probably, now that he's unleashed a bit, even though his tyres are a bit older, will probably appreciate a bit of clear air and might stay out there while he's got that clear air. To try and make that ground and get ahead of Farewell and get closer to Chastity, who I'm sure he really wanted to beat at the start of this race, but circumstances have conspired against him. So where's Preston? He's into the pits now, so well, let's be interesting to see how... That was a big... Was that too aggressive into the pits? I'm not sure. We'll wait and see shortly. So he's racing Farewell. So let's see where Farewell's coming. He's coming through the chicane now. Oh no, he wasn't racing Farewell, it was Jowett. So we can see Jowett coming down the straight now. And where is Preston? Preston is still in the pits. May very well have got himself a penalty for speeding into the pits. Still sitting there. I'd say that was speeding into the pits. Corey Preston's got himself a penalty. Is no longer jousting with Jowett. That was a pity, because that was going to be that was being a good battle. But Corey's going to go way back to the back of the pack with that penalty now. And we have a leader. Effective leader. Jansen has a 23-second lead over Rizzo, but the pit transit time's around 30 seconds, I'd say, here at Suzuka. So that probably puts Jansen in front of Farewell, which he was stuck behind, so he probably has made enough ground to get in front of Farewell. But he'd need to maintain his pace, because he can't afford, for these old tyres that he's using, to slow him down too much that he drops back in behind Farewell again. That would be very frustrating. But he's probably monitoring that gap and knows exactly what he's doing, being such an experienced racer. He's done all the Manic Monday races in the Gen 3 car, all but one, and he's the only one that had record anything like that. I was surprised he missed a race a few weeks ago, but that was the only one he's missed since Gen 3 cars started at the start of last year. This is the 5th season, race 9 in the 5th season, and he's only missed one race. So there's a wealth of experience there, and he's enjoying leading the race. But I feel as though once he makes his pit stop, he'll be slotting into very close to where Wayne Walker is in 5th spot, maybe just after Wayne. Now Walker's in behind Morris, and Walker has damage on his car. Obviously something has gone wrong there at Walker at some stage. Even with that damage, he's looking quite racy against Matt Morris. Whoa, Walker sent Morris very wide and just burnt Morris's tyres up. My goodness. He survived and Wayne Walker stayed in behind, but Morris just burnt the crap out of those tyres, going sideways for a long period there. That's not going to help his cause at all. So Matt Morris currently in 4th place, but I hate to think what condition those tyres are in after that. So Walker doing quite well to be as racy as he is with that damage on the front left. And the raccoon. I didn't notice that before. I thought that was damage, but it's a raccoon coming out of the back of that front left wheel arch. So here we are on lap 13, and Steve Jansen has not come in yet. It really surprises me. That's quite a good run on fuel to get to the end of lap 13. He's obviously must be feeling as though he's circulating quite well. We can see Farrell's only made half a second, I suppose, so he still has a bit of a margin on Farrell if we assume maybe a 30 to 31 second pit transit. But he's cutting it pretty fine, I would say. Especially if he gets caught up with tail enders. He seems to be coming up to a tail ender at the moment, which is Stephen Kokoschke, who's not too slow, so I wouldn't imagine he's not slow at all. So I don't imagine he'd be holding up Jansen. Something's obviously gone wrong at some stage of the race for Stephen to be back this far. But I imagine Jansen in front at the moment, but yet to pit. Will definitely be pitting at the end of this lap. A slight balk down the straight there as Kokoschke got out of his way. So the interest here is where Jansen comes out of the pit stop in relation to Morris, Walker and Farrell. I'm guessing 30 to 31 seconds, so he might come out just in front of them if everything goes well here. That almost did not go well. That was very sideways, but he's gathered it in nicely. Hopefully he doesn't speed into those pits, as we've seen another driver do today.
On the back track, go.
And cut the penalty. So let's see where those guys are going. Where is Morris?
Copy, thank you.
And he's leading the train here. Morris with Walker in behind, but Walker's gone wide again there. I'd imagine Morris's tyres are cooked, but he's still holding on. But the guys behind are making out because maybe Walker's tyres are cooked as well. So they're probably not going as quick as the moment, which gives Jansen even more chance of coming out in front. Oh, Morris very wobbly onto the straight. It's confirming the theory that his tyres are now shot after sliding around the outside of the spoon after being knocked off by Walker. And there's Jansen coming out safely in front of that. He's managed that very well. And Morris, no grip at all anymore, has gone out wide, he's gathered it back in. Walker's got him. And Farrell's going to have a look as well. But yeah, Morris is up against it. He seems to be driving around on ice skates at the moment. And Machado will probably make short work of him shortly as well. Jowett, he'll try and get up to those as well. So let's check in on our leader, Ross Rizzo. Wow, he's putting on a show here. At the moment, he's got a margin of over 3 seconds on Chastity. Now the margin's not coming down, it actually seems to be increasing. So this is quite the drive, a bit of a turnaround on form from just a few days ago, but that's what a bit of extra practice and a bit of tuning up of your setup can do. And Jansen's now safely into 3rd, but what could have been, he's 10 seconds behind Chastity, but that might have been how much he was held up early on. Now Walker battling on well with that damage. But Farrell may think he's a chance to get Walker given that's a damaged car in front. Morris has got 4 damaged feet and will struggle. Machado will probably make short work of him. If not into the final chicane, as they get here to turn 1. Let's keep an eye on it. I don't think the tyres really come back once they've had a big massive slide like that. Yep. He's gone wide again. He's got no grip. He's just battling this thing. So he's got no damage to the car, but the slide just put him out of business with the tyres. Just cooked. Is he getting out of the way or defending? Oh, I think he's defending. Alright, that's very game of him with these tyres. I imagine Machado with a lots better conditioned tyres will find him easy work. Well, not easy as such. Matt's fighting on. We love a bit of side by side here through the S-bends at Suzuka, and Matt's done really, really well. Jamie's just playing a game of patience here, and I think the inevitable will happen quite shortly, because you needed quite a bit of grip coming out of here. There's not much grip out there where Jamie is though. He went too wide. Very impressive by Matt Morris here on his 4 ice skates, holding off Jamie Machado, who's racing around on some nice rubber. But we can see while this is going on, Tyler Jowett and Jay Brazier are making good ground on them. I wonder if Matt's wondering what could have been if his tyres didn't get burned up, because he's fighting on here very well. Interesting line taken by Morris there, trying to defend off Machado. Here they go again. Machado's been sent wide. Oh, he's done well to bring that back. Yeah, that was almost gone. And now 3 wide. Go fellas. Exciting. Machado gets it though. He's got the job done now. And Morris still struggling. Jowett can now see that. Maybe smell a bit of blood in the water here. Brazier is going to get involved as well. The Brazier was well back from these guys earlier on. Is making good ground. Yeah. There you go. Very close. No, Jowett's very good coming out of this hairpin on that wider angle. Will he get the pedal down here? While they're having fun, let's check out. Oh no, we'll stay with it. Just side by side around the spoon. I think Jowett might have the better line through here. We'll get a lot of drive, and Matt Morris on those skates has gone sideways, and Jowett's off. So I think that's all over now. Ross Rizzo. Sounds very relaxed. What a huge lead. Now extended out to 4.5 seconds. He is showing fantastic pace. This is turning into quite the cakewalk for him. Very impressive. Chastity has a huge gap to Jansen in third. The front 3 have really spread out and made a huge gap. And then we're back to Walker in fourth, driving off the track. Is he doing that tyre cooling thing? I don't know. Morris hasn't given up yet on Jowett. He's trying to fight back. It's like probably trying to fight back, or maybe his tyres are coming back a bit now. It's been a few laps now since he burnt them up. Maybe they do come back a little, because he seems to be showing some extra fight now. Brazier just waiting for his opportunity. I think he's been improving every race this week. As you'd expect, Suzuka does take some practice to get the hang of. Morris sideways again. That thing's not playing ball. How's Clark going? In 10th position. It's a good drive for Roy. 10th position's very nice. Blanchard and Haynes, the teammates, seem to be having a very smooth race there in positions 11th and 12th. Randall, these guys are just running line astern the whole race in those positions, just running together with a neat gap. Pretty quite a relaxing race for those guys. This one doesn't look so relaxing here. We have Brunt and Baxter and Max Wolf, followed by Richie and our Estonian fan, Sim Luke. John Gallen looks to be taking it very easy tonight. There's the guys having some fun at the rear of the field. We did have a split tonight. Some of these guys are a bit unlucky not to get in a split two, as the cut-off was very close. So instead of being at the pointy end of split two, they're at the tail end of split one, but that's the way the luck of the draw goes. Rizzo's never going to be in split two. This is a command performance here at Suzuka. Chastity's now 5 seconds behind, so this is his first loss for a very long time. That just gives extra merit to Ross Rizzo's win to beat a driver of Chastity's form and class by such a margin. Jansen, also in great form, held up. He couldn't find a way past Farewell, and that's cost him earlier in the race. And he chose not to do the undercut, and that may not have worked out in his favour. Walker, pole sitter, very competitive early on, but picked up some damage at some point. I think he lost control around this part of the track and hit the fence on lap 11. So that's what's caused that damage. It was on his own. He wasn't mixed up with anyone else. He just overcooked it. It's so easy to do in that section of the track. Farrell Machado having a nice dice of 5th place, as we've only got a lap and a half to go. So I wonder if Machado will get him before the end of the race. But as we saw before, Farewell was not easy to get past. Jansen couldn't do it. I think Jansen's a better form than Machado. So unlikely we'll see Jamie Machado getting by Farewell. 1 lap to go. Morris has lost contact with Jowett now, as now Brazier has got now lining up. Matt. Here these 4 guys running very consistently. Probably all got 0 incident points by the look of these guys and the way they've raced tonight. Alright, well, let's have a look at the leader as he brings it home for victory, because it has been a quality drive. That margin is quite large. I did not expect that at the start of this race based on what I saw on the Ross's previous race. Obviously just used that as a warm-up to get ready for this main race of the week, and has come out and delivered in spades. I suppose Trans-Tasman Racing, he'd actually have access to some pretty awesome setups, wouldn't he? So maybe he was using the wrong one the other day. Now they've given him the right one and he's bolted away from the field. Don't see too many of the Trans-Tasman Racing boys in these strength of field races on Monday anymore. Love to see them back. They're very exciting to watch. Having Ross here shows us what they're capable of. Here he comes up, ready to get into the final chicane and bring it home for a wonderful victory. So Ross Rizzo, first place. James Chastity, second. First time he's been beaten in a long time, but it had to happen. It takes the pressure off the winning streak. Steve Jansen, Mr. Consistent. I think that's 10 times in a row he's been on the podium. And Wayne Walker, eventful race for him. Back in 4th place. Oh, there's action between Machado and Farrell. Oh, wow. Let's go back and have a quick look at that. There's a bit of excitement at the end of the race. Oh, well, what's happened here? This is for 5th place. Looks like Machado's got in the back of him, sent him forward. He's come back at him. Farrell's not having a bar of it. He was really desperately defending that. That is full on with these two guys. And Machado's come out the other side, and Farrell's lost control. Well, that was a big, big finish there. And he's got one for his trouble there as some other guys got past. It was a great race by Farrell, but yeah, unfortunate mix-up with Machado there. So that ends the race there. So let's have a look at the results of the race. So we can see Ross Rizzo out in front. So let's have a look. Jamie Machado did come over the line. Tyler Jowett got past him. So Tyler Jowett's finished in 5th from Jamie Machado. Matt Morris in 7th. Braz Air in 8th. Clark in 9th. Blanchard 10th. Simon Haynes 11th. Jared Farrell, after that mix-up, he was looking for 5th, but he's gone back to 12th with that tangling with Jamie Machado, which was quite eventful for the end. And then Shane Randell, Matthew Brunt, Max Wolf, Andrew Ritchie, Slim Lug, second race ever in the Supercars, it looks like. Hope he does some more. John Gallen, David Baxter, Darryl Callahan, Andrew Birchall, all on the lead lap. Brett Horsell, Cameron Garati, Corey Preston's had some problems after that earlier penalty, and Steve Kikoshi looks as though had some problems. But that was a great race for Manic Monday. Great win to Ross Rizzo. And we look forward to we move on to Miami now, a very different circuit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys for those races. Bye.